The 1971 San Fernando earthquake, also known as the Sylmar earthquake, struck the San Fernando Valley area of Los Angeles, California, on February 9, 1971. This catastrophic event not only caused significant loss of life and widespread damage but also led to crucial changes in earthquake engineering, building codes, and emergency preparedness. At 6 a.m. local time, residents were jolted awake by a strong tremor registering a magnitude of 6.6 on the Richter scale. The quake's epicenter was located near the San Gabriel Mountains, about 20 miles north of downtown Los Angeles. It lasted about 12 seconds, but its impact was devastating and long-lasting. The earthquake caused major destruction across the San Fernando Valley, heavily damaging communities like Sylmar, San Fernando, Pacoima, and others. Some of the most severe damage occurred at the Olive View Medical Center and the Veterans Administration Hospital, where entire buildings collapsed, trapping patients and staff under the rubble. In total, 64 people were killed, many of whom were in these hospital buildings. One of the most dramatic incidents caused by the earthquake was the near failure of the Lower Van Norman Dam. The dam sustained serious cracks and deformations, raising the specter of a potential catastrophic flood that could have inundated much of the valley, including parts of Los Angeles. As a precaution, over 80,000 residents were evacuated from their homes, fearing the dam would break. Thankfully, it held, but the incident highlighted the vulnerability of infrastructure to seismic events and prompted a re-evaluation of safety standards for critical facilities. The 1971 San Fernando earthquake also caused widespread damage to freeways in the Los Angeles area, including the collapse of sections of the Interstate 5 and State Route 14 interchange. The destruction of transportation infrastructure severely hampered emergency response efforts and led to significant disruptions that took months to fully repair. In response to the destruction and the failures in building and infrastructure performance, significant changes were made in the engineering standards and building codes. The earthquake demonstrated the inadequate design of various structures, particularly hospitals and schools, in resisting seismic forces. As a result, California passed laws requiring the retrofitting of these buildings to withstand future earthquakes. The lessons learned from the 1971 San Fernando earthquake had profound implications for how cities, particularly those in earthquake-prone regions like California, approached earthquake preparedness and construction. The disaster was a catalyst for the development of stricter building codes, better construction practices, and the advancement of earthquake engineering. The San Fernando earthquake remains a critical study case for seismologists and engineers alike, emphasizing the need for continuous improvement in our understanding of earthquakes and our ability to design communities that can withstand such natural disasters. It stands as a somber reminder of the ever-present threat of earthquakes in California and the ongoing need for vigilance and preparedness.
Dam vulnerability. The near failure of the Lower Van Norman Dam was particularly alarming. Despite surviving the quake, the dam was severely compromised with extensive cracks, raising fears of a potential catastrophic breach that could have inundated vast areas of Los Angeles. Early morning timing. The earthquake struck at 6 a.m. when many residents were still at home and in bed. This timing potentially reduced the number of injuries and fatalities that might have occurred had the quake struck later in the day when people were in schools, hospitals, or commuting on the damaged freeways. Hospital collapses. The collapse of newly built facilities like the Olive View Medical Center and the Veterans Administration Hospital highlighted the unexpected failure of modern structures designed to comply with existing building codes at the time. Legislative changes. The disaster prompted immediate legislative action, leading to significant changes in building codes and the mandatory retrofitting of key structures, particularly hospitals and schools. The swift policy and regulatory responses were a direct outcome of the quake's impact. Mass evacuation. The evacuation of over 80,000 people due to the threat posed by the damaged dam was a massive and unusual logistical challenge. It underscored the secondary risks associated with earthquakes, beyond the initial shaking.